Good evening and namaste to all the viewers of the day. As we have been coming to you with so many prominent, profound, well known personalities across India, the same way today we have one of the most well known personalities who will teach us, motivate us, guide us about the importance of verbal aptitude in professional lives. So, it is very important to know what is the importance of verbal aptitude in bureaucracy. As you know that whether it is a Talati Mantri job or UPSC or GPSC or NDA or CDS, everywhere one subject is common, that is English. And in some of the examinations like UPSC, it is also very important. In GPSC, very important, and NDA and CDS and other examinations, without your verbal aptitude, it is very difficult to qualify the examination. So the same way we have the well-known person, I would like to introduce her in front of you in a nutshell, because she has got a wide experience in teaching field with so many degrees, and she has worked with so many institutions. So it is needless to state that she is a prolific personality, well-known personality. So let me introduce her in a brief. Ma'am, good evening and welcome to you. You are
Good evening, sir.
respected Krishna Unadkat, ma'am. Right now, you are the academic head of IMS Rajkot, which is one of the most prominent institutions across India for preparing various kind of examinations. Ma'am, you have worked with Marwadi Education Foundation group of institution for many years. More than 7 to 8 years you have worked with the university. Also, ma'am, you have worked with Devang Patel Entertainment Private Limited Ahmedabad as a business development manager. So at the same time, you have one of the best skills to manage the thing. Ma'am, you have worked with Anagram Knowledge Academy Limited Ahmedabad as a marketing officer. Ma'am, you have also worked with MAG Media Labs Private Limited Ahmedabad as a media solution manager, and you have worked with our organization Genius Group of Institutions for 1 year. So believe me, you have lots of experience as a manager, as a teacher, as a trainer, as a motivator, as a counselor, as a guide. So today you will guide us, teach us, motivate us how to improve our communication skill, how to improve the verbal aptitude, which plays a vital role in any kind of government examination in our country. Ma'am, you are a holder of MBA degree and MCom. So, ma'am, wholeheartedly, I would like to welcome you to the Genius Lakshya platform, which is a unique platform which has been giving service to the nation. This platform has been giving service to the nation where students from standard 7 onwards, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and college and above students can join us online from Monday to Thursday. Those who have made up in their minds to pursue their career as a super class 1 officer in GPSC, in UPSC, in NDA and CDS. So there also English plays a very significant role, and today we will learn from you what is the importance of this language skill. So ma'am, now over to you. Please give us and enhance us from your knowledge and experience. Thank you very much, ma'am. Please, over to you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Rohit, sir. So, hello, viewers. I proudly welcome you to this session. I am extremely thankful to Genius School and Rohit sir for giving me this opportunity to talk to the students of various sects about the importance of verbal aptitude. I will also take the liberty to keep a mix of Hindi and English in my language so that all of you can get a better understanding of what I'm trying to convey here. So let me take you through a presentation and then we will discuss the topic of verbal aptitude in much detail. Great. So today we will be talking about verbal aptitude in bureaucracy. Now, before discussing what is verbal aptitude, let me tell you what verbal aptitude is not. Okay. Verbal aptitude in India is taken in a lot of context. People take verbal aptitude as a combination of words that if I know a lot of words, then my verbal aptitude is good. That's a myth. That's not correct. People think that if I can speak the language very fluently, that is verbal aptitude. Again, that is not correct because you are just talking about one part of the communication, and that's verbal communication. You are not talking about the conveying of the message. Third is communication skills. Now, when we say communication skills, it is a mix of both language as well as non-verbal communication, right? So, non-verbal communication is not a part of verbal aptitude, but it is definitely going to make some sense to you. And people believe that if I know the formal structure, then I know the verbal aptitude, which also is a myth. So, verbal aptitude is a combination of all four of this. That is, you need to know a lot of words in vocabulary. You need to have a command over language. Now, when we say verbal aptitude language, we will be mostly talking about English. हमारे कंट्री में हिंदी भी बहुत जरूरी है और सिंस वी ऑल बिलोंग टू सौराष्ट्र एंड गुजरात गुजराती पण बहुत जरूरी है but in today's world where the entire world communicates through this particular language it is very necessary to develop the right skills for getting the tinge of verbal aptitude, right? So that's why it is little more than language. You need to know the usage of the language. Communication skills, of course, a combination of both verbal as well as non-verbal factors, which is going to take you through for getting your message across to third parties, and the formal structure. Now, जब हम verbal aptitude की बात करेंगे in the specific context of exams that we conduct, we will have to stick to the formal structure. We will have to stick to the rules that are established by the language. ठीक है. So verbal aptitude is a combination of all of this plus a little more. Let me give you an example of few simple sentences. ठीक है. Look at sentence number 1, which says, "When I will arrive, I will call you." Now, if you look at this sentence, this is one regular sentence जो हम अपने daily context में use करते हैं. But my dear students, grammatically ये थोड़ा incorrect है. क्यों? क्योंकि आपने दो बार will so which is the word form of to be का वर्ब फॉर्म आपने दो बार यूज किया है तो which means आप दो चीजें करने चाहिए बट ऐसा तो हो नहीं रहा है इस सेंटेंस में आप एक चीज कर रहे हो जो दूसरी चीज पर डिपेंडेंट है सो the right usage of this particular sentence is when I arrive I will call you. So देखिए when you look at these sentences they look quite simple. You find oh this is correct. But if you attempt a question like this in any of the exams, they will give you a wrong marking. So we need to understand the right usage of the right verbs when we want to clear a good exam for verbal aptitude. Look at the second sentence. That is quite interesting. If the baby doesn't drink the milk, boil it. अब subject verb agreement जिन जिनको पता है so if you look here if the baby doesn't drink the milk boil it so what is it referring to here in this context it refers to the baby and not to the milk जबकि हम तो यहाँ पे milk को boil करने की बात कर रहे हैं baby को तो of course boil नहीं करना है so the right context will be you should boil the milk before giving it to the baby. So if you look at these two simple sentences, I'm quite sure you will be able to see that दिखने में बहुत सही लग रहा है, but in reality ये चीज सही नहीं. क्यों? क्योंकि इसमें थोड़ा सा एरर है, और यही थोड़ा सा एरर है माय फ्रेंड्स, जिससे लोग अच्छी सी एंट्रेंस एग्जाम में थोड़ा पीछे रह जाते हैं. So, in today's lecture, I'm going to take you through some very simple fundas of verbal aptitude. Verbal aptitude क्या है, कौन सी एग्जाम्स में ये यूज होता है, ठीक है. मोर और लेस इट इज यूज्ड एवरीवेयर. व्हाट इज इट्स इंपॉर्टेंस एंड व्हाट आर फ्यू ऑफ द टॉपिक्स दैट आर गोइंग टू बी कवर्ड इन दिस. So let me take you through the presentation further. So as we discussed, verbal aptitude is a combination of all four of this plus its contextual understanding. आप कौन से context में बात कर रहे हो, उस कॉन्टेक्स्ट में वो मैसेज सामने वाले तक जाना चाहिए. और अगर आप सिर्फ रिटन कम्युनिकेशन पे फोकस कर रहे हो, तो रिटन कम्युनिकेशन में भी ये बहुत जरूरी होता है कि हम चॉइस ऑफ वर्ड्स, हम जो वर्ड सिलेक्ट कर रहे हैं वो इजी होने चाहिए, सिंपल होने चाहिए. एट द सेम टाइम दोज वर्ड्स नीड टू क्रिएट एन इम्प्रेशन. हमारा जो टोन है, हमारा जो मूड है, वो भी वो रिटन कम्युनिकेशन में कन्वे होना चाहिए लोगों को. We also need to see सामने जिसको हम कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हैं उसका अंडरस्टैंडिंग लेवल क्या है. So all this will combinedly get us the contextual of understanding of what kind of words we should be using. Again, जमाना globalization का है. We can use English the same way to communicate across. We will be communicating to, let's say, Arab countries through English. We will be communicating to USA, Canada through English. We will be communicating with French people through English. We will be communicating with German people through English. And interestingly, इन सबका contextual understanding English का थोड़ा different है. तो जब भी हम कोई formal communication letter draft करेंगे, हमें ये देखना है that with whom are we going to share this particular communication of ours. And that is the way we should be designing this communication. हमें इसको डिजाइन इस तरीके से करना है कि सामने की जो ऑडियंस है उसको समझ आए. ये तो आगे की बात होगी. फिलहाल हमारा जो फोकस है वो है वर्बल एप्टीट्यूड, जो मोस्ट ऑफ द एंट्रेंस एग्जाम्स, अगर आप कोई भी अच्छी करियर प्लान कर रहे हो उसमें यूज होता है. बट देयर अगेन माय फ्रेंड्स, they check a variety and wide usage of your language. ठीक है. So you need to be very clear of the rules, of its contextual understanding, of the tone, of the mood of the passage in order to reach to the right answer. So very simply, it is the ability to use the written language and to understand the concepts that are presented through words. Whatever you read in your entrance exam, you should be able to understand it. And you should be also able to understand the whole context. एक चीज होती है the bigger picture, the larger picture. So words जो है वो meaningfully, slowly picture build करेंगे, and at the end of the story या paragraph या जो भी है, एक picture आपके mind में build होगा. So verbal aptitude is imagining the same picture that the author wanted you to imagine. ठीक है. तो ये थोड़ा सा challenging होगा. It is little ahead than story reading or story writing. It is little more than understanding the person. It is about understanding the words and its actual message. Now let's understand कि verbal aptitude का application in this century कहाँ हो सकता है. बहुत सारी जगह हो सकता है my friends. First is of course education. Any education entrance exam that you appear will have verbal aptitude more or less as its topic, will have communication skill as its topic. So education में अच्छा verbal aptitude होना is very necessary. ठीक है. Second, business world. All of you would have heard that all the big fours, जब भी वो Ernst & Young है या KPMG है, whenever they hire candidates, they ask them to go through one verbal aptitude exam. If you have heard of TCS, anytime they hire a good candidate, large-scale organizations like Wipro, like TCS, they also conduct an entrance exam which has verbal aptitude as one of the part. So if you want to get into good corporates, you need to have the correct verbal aptitude. Third is about language connect, which I said if you're trying to learn some foreign language, in that case also you need to learn first the verbal aptitude of English. That will help you connect to foreign language, because We will learn that foreign language through its translation of English. आप बात समझ रहे हैं? अगर आप फ्रेंच सीख रहे हैं तो ऐसा नहीं होगा that you are learning Gujarati to French. We all are the Jews, तो गुजराती टू फ्रेंच कोई हमें नहीं सिखाएगा. जो भी हम सीखेंगे फ्रेंच, स्पेनिश, ये सब हम सीखेंगे थ्रू इंग्लिश. ठीक है. So we need to understand English better in order to learn those other languages also. फिर बात आती है हायर एस्पिरेशन की. व्हेनेवर पीपल आर ट्राइंग टू मूव फॉरवर्ड इन देयर करियर, बहुत सारे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में एंट्रेंस एग्जाम्स रखते हैं लोग. ठीक है. तो वो एंट्रेंस एग्जामिनेशंस आपको क्लियर करने हैं ताकि आप उसको आगे जाके you will be able to progress in your career. You will be able to progress in whatever step that you are taking. Career advancement, higher aspiration. एक होता है benchmarking. Now, what is benchmarking? In any good organization, there will be certain performers. There will be certain set of expectations communicated to the candidates. ठीक है. So, if you have the right verbal aptitude, you will be able to reach to that benchmark level जिसकी हम बात कर रहे हैं, जिससे आप करियर स्किल में आगे बढ़ पाएंगे. So, verbal aptitude, having the right verbal aptitude is very highly necessary in today's world. You need to progress at each and every stage, and everywhere the correct verbal aptitude, the correct written communication is going to take you one step further, my friends. Let me give you, okay. Also, we discussed about bureaucracy. What is bureaucracy? Interestingly, etymology जिसको पता है, this is a combination of a French and a Greek word. So etymology is the study of words. जैसे हर एक चीज का, वैसे वर्ड्स का भी एक रूट होता है. ठीक है. एक रूट से, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एक है टू बी. टू बी से आता है इज, आर, वॉज, वेयर, हिज, हर. ये सब जो है ये टू बी फैमिली का पार्ट है. तो वर्ड्स में भी ऐसा होता है दैट वहाँ पे फैमिलीज होती हैं, वहाँ पे आगे पीछे चीजें होती हैं, एंड वहाँ से बहुत सारे वर्ड कंबाइन करके हम वर्ड्स को कॉन्टेक्चुअल यूज करते हैं. For example, the term bureaucracy, which originated in the French language, is a combination of these two words. First is bureau. Bureau means desk or office, and a Greek word that is kratos, that is the rule or political power. So, bureaucracy, my friends, is a combination of the rules or political powers that are exercised in office, of course, to manage the large organization. That comes back to the expector of the world, which is management, right? Now, bureaucracy पहले के ज़माने में government style के लिए यूज होता था. That a government style which adopts bureaucracy is centralized, has its own characteristics. In the modern world, modern bureaucracy as a term is applied to any management style. तो अब सबसे ज्यादा मैनेजमेंट कहाँ आएगा? सबसे ज्यादा जो मैनेजमेंट आएगा, that will come more or less in large scale organizations. Okay. We all have heard of Amazon, we all have heard of Apple, we all have heard of Wipro, we all have heard of TCS, we all have heard of four big MNCs which use bureaucracy as modern bureaucracy as a style to manage their large organizations. Now, when I say large organizations, ये लार्ज ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस जो है उनकी ऑफिस अक्रॉस कंट्रीज स्प्रेड होती है. ठीक है. एंड देयर अक्रॉस कंट्रीज आल्सो द लेवल्स ऑफ बिजनेस. फॉर एग्जांपल, द बिजनेस ऑफ मैकडॉनल्ड्स इन राजकोट एंड द बिजनेस ऑफ मैकडॉनल्ड्स इन मुंबई इज गोइंग टू बी मच डिफरेंट. So you will need to apply different styles in both these organizations to manage. So the typical characteristics of a bureaucracy will be hierarchy. इसमें hierarchy होती है, layers of reporting. So there are levels of official. For example, it starts with executives, officers, managers, CEOs, board of directors. एक normal hierarchy है जिसमें management होता है. इस hierarchy में written communication से चीजें कन्वे होती है, ऊपर तक जाती है, नीचे आती है, simultaneously parallel line में भी flow करती है. Continuity. ब्यूरोक्रेसी में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है कि अगर एक दिन आप ऑफिस नहीं गए हो, काम तो नहीं रुकता है. सो व्हिच मींस देयर हैज टू बी कंटीन्यूअस कम्युनिकेशन अक्रॉस ऑल द लेवल्स टू ऑल द एम्प्लॉइज एज एंड व्हेन नीडेड. इट आल्सो टॉक्स अबाउट इम्पर्सनैलिटी, दैट इज अ नॉन बायस्ड अप्रोच टू मैनेजिंग पीपल. ठीक है. सो जो भी जिसको भी जानता है, बट जो रूल्स ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में हैं वो सबको अप्लाई करेंगे। नंबर 4 वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इज एक्सपर्टीज। जिस बंदे में जिस चीज की एक्सपर्टीज है उसको वही लेवल पे बिठाया जाएगा, ठीक है। सो इफ यू वांट टू प्रोग्रेस यू विल नीड टू प्रूव दैट आई हैव द एक्सपर्टीज। So my friends, we have decided the topic that is today, which is applicable in bureaucracy, and bureaucracy here means the business organizations that are spread across the globe। अब दो चीजें होंगी, या तो आप इन बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में काम करोगे या आप इन बिजनेस ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस के साथ काम करोगे। सो आइदर यू वर्क फॉर देम और यू वर्क विद देम एज एन एंटरप्रेन्योर। इन बोथ द केसेस it is very necessary to get the right verbal aptitude to everybody who deals into bureaucracy. Bureaucracy is government, bureaucracy is organizations, bureaucracy is state to state, bureaucracy is also the international communication, because that's where the way flows. So I am sure now you get the importance of verbal aptitude in today's world of bureaucracy. Let me move forward. ठीक है, आज के करियर ऑप्शन। नाउ हम एकदम स्टूडेंट स्पेसिफिक बात करते हैं, ठीक है। जो भी बच्चे हैं हमारे जो 8 to 12 स्टैंडर्ड के हैं और जो ये वीडियो देख रहे हैं, तो उनके पास मोर और लेस डिफाइंड करियर ऑप्शन है। ये सब जगह पे वर्बल एप्टीट्यूड की रिक्वायरमेंट है। फॉर एग्जांपल गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स, जैसे हमें रोहित सर ने बताया दैट यू आर प्रिपेयरिंग फॉर यूपीएससी और जीपीएससी और बैंक और पीओ एग्जाम्स और एनी ऑफ द गुड गवर्नमेंट पोस्ट्स, वहाँ पे भी प्रमोशन के लिए पीपल अपेयर फॉर एग्जाम्स हैज वर्बल एप्टीट्यूड इन देयर सिलेबस। If you talk about professional qualifications, that is CA, CS, CWA, you will need to write those answers in the way of somebody who has this finance background. Again, it's necessary. If you opt management as a career, ठीक है, आप BBA करना चाहते हो, आप BMS करना चाहते हो, तो now you have IIM Indore and IIM Rohtak, which will take students after 12th. They conduct an exam called IPMAT, ठीक है। IPMAT में भी verbal aptitude is a part of their syllabus। जो भी अच्छी renowned management institutes हैं in India as well as outside India, they do have an entrance if you want to get into those institutes for BBA or for MBA also, and for both of this verbal aptitude is definitely a part of their syllabus। किसी को लॉ करना है, अगर आप लॉ कर रहे हो, उसका एग्जाम है क्लैट, उसके सिलेबस में भी वी हैव वर्बल एप्टीट्यूड। इफ यू आर प्लानिंग फॉर होटल मैनेजमेंट, दे आल्सो हैव वर्बल एप्टीट्यूड अंडर देयर एग्जाम कोर्स। If you are planning to appear for an exam of GATE or something, they also have verbal aptitude in their scores। So सारे करियर ऑप्शंस में, फिर साइंस के भी आप करियर ऑप्शंस देखो, कन्वेंशनल है या अनकन्वेंशनल ऑप्शंस है, उसमें the right usage of language, the right way of writing and information is very necessary. And that's why in today's career options, verbal aptitude plays a very important part. ठीक है, now let me give you a brief of competitive exams that IMS India deals with, and then I'll take you through the verbal aptitude classifications of each one of them. For example, जैसे मैंने आपको बताया, अगर आपको इंडिया में IIM से पढ़ना है, which has IPMAT as an exam, ठीक है, वो IIM इंदौर और IIM रोहतक में आप 5 years integrated MBA कर सकते हो, BBA plus MBA। If you want to get into a good institute of Mumbai called NMIMS, you will need to appear for its NPAT. If you want to get admission into Symbiosis, they also have their entrance exam, जहाँ पे verbal aptitude is a part. So anywhere you are targeting good BBA, verbal aptitude आएगी आपको। Hotel management में भी verbal aptitude quant आएगा, CLAT आएगा। If you plan to get into journalism or mass communication, there are institutes in Mumbai and Pune which offer you graduation degree in this. You will need to go for this exam. अच्छा, there is a course of BSc in culinary arts, ठीक है, जो hotel management भी नहीं है। Culinary arts is basically the entire study of fine dining, जिसकी भी entrance होती है। Very interesting entrance exams are UG abroad के लिए, जो भी बच्चे 12th में अच्छा स्कोर लाते हैं, ठीक है, और उनको यूएस जाना है। यूएस की एक एग्जाम है सैट, दैट इज स्कॉलास्टिक एप्टीट्यूड टेस्ट। 1600 मार्क्स की एग्जाम होती है, जिसमें से 800 गोज टू वर्बल एंड 800 गोज टू क्वांट। तो जिन बच्चों को यूएस जाना है 12th के बाद और अच्छी कॉलेजेस, whom we popularly call as Ivy Leagues में जाना है, you will need to clear this exam which is called SAT. वर्ल्ड फेमस एग्जाम जो है IELTS, दैट इज योर इंग्लिश प्रोफिशिएंसी लैंग्वेज एग्जाम, ये भी मोर और लेस हमें इंग्लिश LSR लिसनिंग, स्पीकिंग, रीडिंग एंड राइटिंग इन चारों पैरामीटर्स पे मेजर करते हैं। ठीक है, तो ये हो गया जो लोग 12th पास करके जाते हैं उनके लिए इम्पोर्टेंस। नाउ लेट्स से यू आर प्लानिंग फॉर PG। सो अगर आप PG इंडिया देना चाहते हो, एक बहुत फेमस एग्जाम है कैट, जिसके बारे में सबने सुना है। कैट का स्कोर सिर्फ IIM ही नहीं बट बहुत सारी दूसरी अच्छी इंस्टीट्यूट्स भी अडॉप्ट करती हैं। फिर है CMAT। अगर आपको गुजरात में रह के अच्छे से MBA करना है, सो यू नीड टू अपियर फॉर एन एग्जाम कॉल्ड CMAT, जिसमें अगेन वर्बल का मेजर पार्ट रहेगा। अगर आपको सिम्बायोसिस पुणे जाना है, यू नीड टू अपियर फॉर SNAP। अगर आपको एडमेट्स आर एडिशनल मैनेजमेंट एडमिशन टेस्ट। सो पूरे इंडिया में जगह जहाँ कहीं भी आपको जाना है, मोर और लेस, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल डिसनेट है या बीफार्म है, ये सब अपने अपने एग्जाम्स कंडक्ट करते हैं। इन सब एग्जाम का इम्पोर्टेंट पार्ट रहता है वर्बल एप्टीट्यूड। ठीक है, PG अब्रॉड। अगर आपने अपना ग्रेजुएशन इंडिया से खत्म कर लिया है एंड आप आगे मास्टर्स के लिए जाना चाहते हैं, then you have two exams, GRE and GMAT. GMAT is Graduate Management Admission Test. This is for people who have done their graduation in management, that is commerce or BBA. Okay. And you have GRE for people who have done their graduation in engineering. They appear for GRE. फिर उसका स्कोर आता है, उस हिसाब से you get selected for your masters abroad. So these two are also very good exams. Again, verbal aptitude, very important part of it. बाकी जो लास्ट सेगमेंट है वो हम सबको पता है, दैट इज प्लेसमेंट एंड बैंक एग्जाम्स। ठीक है, तो ये ऑफ कोर्स हम सब ने सुना है दैट इफ यू वांट टू गेट इनटू गुड बैंक्स, बैंकिंग इज अ वेरी गुड करियर ऑप्शन, जिसके लिए भी आपको वर्बल एप्टीट्यूड करना है। तो माय फ्रेंड्स, ये जो एग्जाम्स है ये मैंने आपको डेफिनेट बताया, जिन सब में वर्बल एप्टीट्यूड कैरी इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट। एंड आई एम क्वाइट श्योर जो भी बच्चे ये देख रहे हैं उनमें से ऑलमोस्ट 60-70% इसी में से कुछ प्लान कर रहे हैं। That is, either you want to study in India with good reputed institutes, of course it is necessary, or you want to go and study abroad, again with good reputed institutes which are known as Ivy Leagues, which is very important. So my friends, now let us, अभी तक हमने समझ लिया कि वर्बल एप्टीट्यूड कहाँ कैसे यूज होता है। अब मैं आपको दिखाती हूँ कि वर्बल एप्टीट्यूड के टॉपिक्स क्या क्या रहेंगे, उसके सिलेबस में क्या क्या आएगा। ऑफ कोर्स पूरा सिलेबस तो कवर नहीं हो सकता है हमारे इस छोटे से सेशन में, बट आई हैव ट्राइड टू गिव यू अ फ्लेवर ऑफ व्हाट वर्बल एप्टीट्यूड इज ऑल अबाउट, एंड उसके लिए हमें कैसे टाइप का एप्टीट्यूड, कैसे टाइप का लर्निंग अप्रोच जो है वो डेवलप करना पड़ेगा। सो फर्स्ट लेट अस सी द टाइप्स ऑफ क्वेश्चंस एंड देन वी मूव फर्दर। Okay, so the first topic in verbal aptitude is called reading comprehension. Reading comprehension, popularly known as RC. ये बहुत common है, ये across the world सब जगह use होता है. So what is reading comprehension? You will be given a passage. This particular passage will be talking about one topic. उसमें 4-5 पैराग्राफ होंगे। ये पैसेज में बहुत सारी इंफॉर्मेशन दी गई होगी। यू विल नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई ईच पैराग्राफ क्या कहना चाह रहा है, और ये पैसेज के एंड में एक पिक्चर, एक मीनिंगफुल पिक्चर आपके माइंड में बिल्ड होना चाहिए। उसके बाद इस पैसेज में से आपको क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाएंगे। Depending on the type of exam, this passages might have some data which is shared with you either in the form of maps or graphs or charts or something like that. Types of questions. अगर आपने पूरा पैसेज पढ़ लिया, उसके बाद कैसे टाइप के क्वेश्चन होते हैं? ऑफ कोर्स डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस तो नहीं होंगे। क्वेश्चन विल बी अबाउट इन्फरेंस, दैट व्हाट इज द ऑथर ट्राइंग टू टेल अस हियर. Questions will be about the tone of the passage. Is the tone critical? Is the tone satirical? Is the tone informative? Is the tone classifying? What is the tone of the passage? ठीक है. You might also come across questions where you will be asked that why did author write the first three paragraphs? What was the reference of the first three paragraphs to make meaning into the passage? So first type or very common topic है reading comprehension. Reading comprehension में 4 या 5 पैराग्राफ्स होंगे, पूरा पैसेज हमें पढ़ना है, समझना है, उसके बाद उसके जो वेरियस टाइप्स ऑफ क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, बहुत सारे टाइप के क्वेश्चंस होते हैं जो हमें सॉल्व करने हैं. ऐसे भी क्वेश्चंस हो सकते हैं दैट अगर ऑथर ने आगे एक पैराग्राफ ऐड किया होता तो व्हाट वुड हैव बीन द सेंट्रल आइडिया ऑफ दैट पैराग्राफ. So you get questions like central idea, you get questions like tone, you get questions like inference, you get questions like establishing the relationship of these two things. So first हो जाएगा हमारा reading comprehension. Number 2, ये बहुत important vocal aptitude topic है, which is inferential logical reasoning. ठीक है, logical reasoning हम सबको पता है. What is LR? LR is basically a set of given data जिसमें से हमें information interpret करनी है. Let us look at this example. This example is saying Ram has started devoting 15 hours to study seriously for GMAT. राम ने GMAT की पढ़ाई शुरू कर दी है और वो 15 घंटे पढ़ रहा है. What can you infer? Now, inferential reasoning is very tricky. यहाँ पे हमें ये समझना है what can I infer? Equally important is what you cannot infer. So first let me infer a few things. Ram is definitely a student of GMAT. He is going to appear for an exam which is called GMAT. ये हम कर सकते हैं, तभी वो 15 घंटे पढ़ रहा है. Ram is serious about this exam, of course, which you can see because it is saying through 15 hours, it is also saying the word seriously. Can you say that Ram is a good student looking at this particular statement? I want you to think about it for a minute. Can you say that? No, you cannot say that Ram is a good student looking at this passage. Acha, one more statement, let's try. Ram will get a good score. Think about this. Can you say this? No, you cannot. क्योंकि राम 15 घंटे पढ़ रहा है, but ये जरूरी नहीं है that he is going to get a good score out of it. So, from this much information, हम क्या infer कर सकते हैं? Ram is going to appear for GMAT. Ram is studying seriously for GMAT. Ram might be a hard-working boy. ठीक है, क्योंकि वो 15 घंटे पढ़ रहा है, तो obviously we can infer कि वो hard-working बंदा है. But we cannot say Ram is a good student. We cannot say Ram is going to get a good score because we have not been given any evidence here. अगर इस statement के बाद एक additional statement होता that Ram has done very well in GMAT mock exams. Ram has started devoting 15 hours to study seriously for GMAT. He has studied very well in mock GMAT exam. जो mock exams होती है GMAT की, उसमें राम का स्कोर अच्छा है. Then we can infer that Ram will get a good score. क्यों? क्योंकि वो 15 घंटे पढ़ भी रहा है और उसके mock के जो mock exam, जो pattern exam दे रहा है, उसके results अच्छे हैं. तो हम ये infer कर सकते हैं कि राम का स्कोर definitely अच्छा ही आएगा. But इतनी information में हम वो infer नहीं कर सकते. ये बहुत कॉमन मिस्टेक होती है माय फ्रेंड्स कि हम इतना पढ़ के आगे का भी इन्फ्रेंस कर लेते हैं. बट व्हेन वी इन्फर वी शुड लुक एट ओनली द इंफॉर्मेशन गिवन एंड नॉट एवरीथिंग एल्स. सो दैट इज योर टॉपिक नंबर 2, inferential logical reasoning. Let me take you to topic 3. Topic 3 is very interesting, which is parajumbles. Parajumbles में क्या है? हमें 4 या 5 सेंटेंसेस दिए गए हैं. उन पांचों सेंटेंस को कनेक्ट करके हमें एक मीनिंगफुल पैराग्राफ बनाना है. ठीक है. Now, I have brought you one example. Let me read out the example for you. First of all, अगर आप इसको प्यार से देखेंगे, ध्यान से देखेंगे, तो आप देख रहे हैं इसमें चार स्टेटमेंट्स हैं एंड एक फिफ्थ स्टेटमेंट भी है, which means मुझे ये समझ लेना है कि ये this particular paragraph will have these 5 sentences, जिसमें से फिफ्थ सेंटेंस बाय डिफॉल्ट कंफर्म है कि फिफ्थ सेंटेंस यही है, मतलब दिस सेंटेंस इज वेयर दिस पैराग्राफ इज गोइंग टू एंड. So now I have to choose my first 4 sentences. ठीक है, तो ए बी सी डी जो है उसका मुझे सीक्वेंस डिसाइड करना है. फिफ्थ सेंटेंस फिक्स्ड है, और जब ये ए बी सी डी का मैं राइट सीक्वेंस फ्रेम कर पाऊंगी तब जाके ये पैराग्राफ मीनिंगफुल होगा. You got the point? That is called paragraphs. This is again very tricky क्योंकि हमें सेंटेंसेस का कनेक्शन बनाना पड़ेगा, हमें समझना पड़ेगा कि हर एक सेंटेंस किसके साथ कनेक्ट होता है. So let me read out A. One example is El Nino, the periodic catastrophe that plagues the west coast of America. So catastrophe is some bad event that plagues, which means that definitely suffers the west coast. B. It is rich in life. अच्छा, ठीक है. C. This coast is normally caressed by the cold, rich Humboldt current. So we are talking about one current which is going to affect the coast. D. Usually the Humboldt hugs the shore and extends 200 to 300 miles out to sea. Okay. अब हमें fifth. It fosters the largest commercial fishery in the world and is the home of the mightiest game fish on record, the black marlin. Correct. Now let us rephrase the sentence. अच्छा, अब इसका मैं रीजनिंग कैसे करूँ? सबसे पहले मुझे सेंटेंसेस का कनेक्शन बनाना है. आप समझ रहे हैं कनेक्शन? देखिए, तो इसमें हम पहले कॉमन वर्ड्स ढूंढेंगे. पहला जो है सेंटेंस वो बता रहा है वेस्ट कोस्ट ऑफ अमेरिका. अब वेस्ट कोस्ट मुझे और कहाँ दिख रहा है? That I am able to see in the word, in the sentence see. This coast. Which coast? The west coast of America. So A and C are making some sense to me. ठीक है? That one example is El Nino that plagues the west coast of America. This coast is normally caressed by the cold, rich current. So we are talking about A and C. They are a pair. उसका sequence हमें decide करना है. Then you look at D. Humboldt current वापस D में repeat भी हो रहा है. Then again C and D are also making a pair. ठीक है, that the Humboldt comes. So A, C, D तो definitely pair हो गया क्योंकि वेस्ट कोस्ट की बात कर रहे हैं. वो कोस्ट आगे रिच करंट की बात कर रहा है जो करंट का नाम है Humboldt, और वो करंट हमें D में बताया गया है about the current and its effects. So my logic should say it is A, C, D, and it is rich in life. What is rich in life? It is talking about the sea. Okay, the west coast of America. It fosters the largest fishery in the world. Rich in life, of course, when you talk about sea coast, we are talking about having good population of fisheries there, having good population of fishes and all the sea creatures. So the right answer in this case is C. That is A, C, D, B, and fifth sentence by default states. So ये para jumble हो गया, my friends. Now this I took a little easier example. The more challenging the exam, the harder this thing gets. When you have to decide the sequence, you have to find out the logic and solve such questions. So that is number 3, para jumbles. Let me take you to number 4. Number 4 talks about paragraph summary. You have a big paragraph which may have 2 or 3 sentences and you are to give a summary of this. I have not been able to bring an example here, नहीं तो हम examples solve करने में बहुत सारा time चला जाएगा. But it is something similar to RC. RC में आपके 5 या 6 passages होंगे. In paragraph summary, you are to give a summary of just one paragraph. Now, this summary should again match the tone of the paragraph. So if the paragraph has a lot of questions and explanations and your summary is just a simple statement, that will not be correct. Your summary also needs to match the mood of the paragraph. Okay. Your summary should cover all the important points that has been given in the paragraph At the same time, it should not include any unwanted parts. क्योंकि पैराग्राफ तो बहुत बड़ा है, 4 लाइन्स का पैराग्राफ है, उसमें से सेकेंड लाइन को कोई इंपॉर्टेंस नहीं। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर आप पीछे वाला सेंटेंस देख दो, इन पांचों की अगर हमें एक समरी बनानी है, सो वी विल टॉक अबाउट द वेस्ट कोस्ट। इधर पूरे आपने पैराग्राफ में देखा दैट द एग्जाम्पल इज गिवन अबाउट एल नीनो, बट देन नोवेयर एल्स दे टॉक अबाउट एल नीनो, right? So when we make a summary of this particular passage, we will not include El Nino there. We will talk about the west coast, we will talk about the world current, and we will talk about the west coast, which is the largest commercial fishery in the world. That will be the right technique of making a summary of this particular paragraph. So, as I said, you have to remember, you have to cover all the important points. At the same time, you need to leave out all that is unimportant. या वो information जो आगे कहीं sense नहीं बना रही है, या उसका कहीं आपको link नहीं मिल रहा है in that particular paragraph. Number 5 topic is contextual usage. Contextual usage, which means हमें कौन से context में, कौन से situation में, कौन से given set of parameters के लिए करना है. देखिए एक एग्जाम्पल है, पिक अप द मोस्ट इनअप्रोप्रिएट वर्ड इन द गिवन कंटेक्स्ट। जो भी मैंने यहाँ पे एक स्टेटमेंट लिखा है उसमें से हमें जो मोस्ट इनअप्रोप्रिएट चीज है उस पे पहुंचना है। फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इट इज ऑब्विएट द न्यू मास ट्रांजिट सिस्टम may obviate the need for the use of personal cars. So if we look at this statement, we are able to understand that the mass transit system will remove the need for the use of the personal cars. मतलब अगर mass transit system जो गवर्नमेंट सिस्टम है वो बहुत अच्छी हो गई तो पर्सनल कार्स की जरूरत नहीं रहेगी। Now I have to replace obviate with one of the options from the 4 options given below with the most inappropriate word. ठीक है, सो इनअप्रोप्रिएट क्या होगा, उसका ऑपोजिट हो सकता है, या वो सेंटेंस वो वर्ड जिसका मीनिंग विल नॉट फिट इनटू दिस पर्टिकुलर कॉन्टेक्स्ट. इट कैन बी ऑपोजिट और इट कैन बी मेकिंग लेसर सेंस. यू सी द ऑप्शंस. नंबर फर्स्ट, प्रिवेंट. ऑब्विएट और प्रिवेंट थोड़ा तो सिमिलर ही हो रहा है. मैं प्रिवेंट द नीड फॉर पर्सन का, ये नहीं हो सकता ऑप्शन. फोरस्टॉल. फोरस्टॉल मीन्स टू डिले. So may delay the need for use of personal cars. We can maybe write that. C, preclude. Okay, so you're talking about something that is previous. We all know the word about preclude. D, bolster. So bolster is to support. So what will be your answer here? Will it be B, will it be C, or will it be D? You need to think and choose the most inappropriate word, which in this context will be D, that is support. वो support नहीं कर रहा है, it is talking about removing, it is talking about preventing, it is talking about delaying, but it is not talking about support. So the answer in this case will be D, that is bolster. Okay, topic 6, which most of us would have seen, is called syllogism. What is syllogism? Syllogism is when you are given 2 or 3 statements and at the end you have to conclude. So you will be able to given again, you will be given a statement where you have to say that whether you will be able to conclude from the given facts or not. बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट टेक्निक होती है सिलोजिज्म सॉल्व करने के लिए, वेन डायग्राम. आई एम क्वाइट श्योर आप सब बच्चे वेन डायग्राम से फेमिलियर हैं. ठीक है, लेट्स लुक एट दिस एग्जांपल वेयर इट सेज सम कैट्स आर रैट्स. ठीक है, सो कुछ कैट जो है वो, अच्छा सिलोजिज्म का दूसरा बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट ये है दैट वी कम विथ नो अजम्पशंस. हमारा माइंड का जो भी लॉजिक है या जो भी assumptions है, हमें कुछ भी assumption नहीं करना. We just have to work on this particular information that is given. So the information that is given is some cats are rats. So we draw a circle which is showing us cat, and we draw a circle where few rats are reflected. The second statement, all bats are tables. So हम एक सर्कल ड्रॉ करेंगे जिसमें होंगे बैट. उसको हम एक बड़ा सर्कल ड्रॉ करेंगे जिसका होगा नाम टेबल. So bats are tables. Look at the third statement. All rats are bats. From first two statement, can you infer the third one? Look at them carefully. I want you to look at them carefully. Okay, so interestingly, no, you cannot infer the third statement from the first two statements. The reason being, first statement is talking about two different parameters, cats and rats. Second statement is talking about two different parameters, bats and tables. There is no relation, there is no intersection in the Venn diagram that we have drawn. And so we cannot conclude the third statement looking at the information of first two. Number 7 kind of verbal aptitude होगा idioms and phrases. So phrases is a group of word which we very popularly use. ठीक है, आप सब ने बहुत सारे phrases सुने होंगे जो हम routine में use करते हैं to convey a particular tone. Let us look at the phrases that are given here. सबसे पहले हम phrase देखेंगे फिर हम question करेंगे. Got a taste of your medicine. खुद ही की दवाई पीनी पड़ी, मतलब खुद ही का solution खुद ही पे apply हुआ. We all know this. Burnt bridges. You build a bridge and then you burn it. So you what do you call, destroy something for which you really worked hard. That will be the meaning. See, cut corners. Cut corners is to take shortcuts. Okay. Let us look at the sentence. Don't you think you dash by not showing up at the meeting you underwent so much of trouble to organize? So which will be a better fitting phrase here? A, B or C? Don't you think you got a taste of your own medicine by not showing up? जो मीटिंग मैंने बहुत मेहनत से ऑर्गेनाइज करी है वहाँ पे मैं नहीं पहुँच पाई. I got a taste of my medicine. Not making sense. Number C, cut corners. So जो मीटिंग मैंने ऑर्गेनाइज करी है उसके शॉर्टकट में मैं वहाँ नहीं है. Doesn't make sense. The correct option here, the correct use of the phrase will be B, that is burnt bridges. So if you look at that sentence, don't you think you burned bridges by not showing up at the meeting? It might not make sense, but if you know the contextual usage of burnt bridges, that is destroying something for which you worked really hard, then it is going to make sense there. So the correct terminology, you need to know the right context of the idioms and phrases there. That is the answer in this question. B. Some other type of verbal aptitude topics. Sentence completion. So you will be given an incomplete statement and you will be given few options. You have to choose the right option which you will be able to take when you have to complete the sentence. Of course, sentence completion jo hai, it has to make meaning to the viewer, to the reader, and it has to be in the context of the other given information. 11th जो टॉपिक है वो है misfill, that is out of context. जैसा हमने पैराजम्बल्स देखा, दिस विल बी समथिंग सिमिलर जिसमें आपको 5 या 6 स्टेटमेंट्स दिए गए हैं. स्टेटमेंट्स ऑफ कोर्स इंटरकनेक्टेड होंगे, बट उसमें एक स्टेटमेंट होगा जो वो कॉन्टेक्स्ट में फिट नहीं बैठ रहा है, एंड यू आर टू आइडेंटिफाई दैट मिसफिट और दैट आउट ऑफ कॉन्टेक्स्ट सेंटेंस. 12th, the verbal aptitude topic talks about paragraph completion. That you have been given 4 statements. Again, you go back to the parajumble that we did, and you have to identify which is the 5th statement. Now, 5th statement will also have a lot of options, but you have to choose an option which matches the tone of the paragraph, of the information that is being given so far, and it should be completing the information. So these are few of the verbal aptitude topics that I have tried to throw some light on. Let me quickly revise it for you. और ये सारे माय फ्रेंड्स कोई भी एंट्रेंस एग्जाम में आप जाओगे ये टाइप के क्वेश्चंस होंगे ही होंगे. ठीक है, क्विकली देख लेते हैं एक बार. सबसे पहला होगा रीडिंग कॉम्प्रिहेंशन. पैसेज पढ़ना है, क्वेश्चंस के जवाब देने हैं. नंबर 2, इन्फरेंशियल लॉजिकल रीजनिंग. आपको एक स्टेटमेंट दिया होगा, आप उसमें से क्या इन्फर कर सकते हो, क्या नहीं कर सकते हो, ये समझना है. थर्ड विल बी पैराजम्बल्स. आपको 4-5 सेंटेंसेस दिए होंगे, आपको इनको राइट सीक्वेंस में करना है. उसी के साथ रिलेटेड है मिसफिट, जो इसमें फिट नहीं बैठता है वो भी आइडेंटिफाई करना है. पैराग्राफ कंप्लीशन, आपको एक पैराग्राफ कंप्लीट करना, मतलब अगर ये 5 के बाद छठा स्टेटमेंट होता तो वो क्या होता, दैट यू हैव टू सी। नंबर 4 इज पैराग्राफ समरी। ये जो पैराग्राफ है, अगर उसकी समरी हमें एक स्टेटमेंट में लिखनी है, हम कैसे लिखेंगे, विच विल बी द राइट ऑप्शन फॉर दैट। नंबर 5 contextual usage, जो हमें, इट इज समथिंग लाइक डू इज डायरेक्टेड, आपको जो बताया गया है वो करना है। आपको बोला है चूज द इनअप्रोप्रिएट वर्ड, तो आपको सबसे ज्यादा जो इनअप्रोप्रिएट है वो चूज करना है। Number 6, syllogism. Syllogism talks about various statements and what you can infer or conclude at the end. क्या आप ये conclude कर सकते हो, नहीं कर सकते हो। अगर ज्यादा सोचोगे तो it is similar to your inferential logical reasoning. आपने क्या infer किया और क्या match किया। Seventh, idioms and phrases. That is, you need to understand the group of words and what kind of sense do they make. And then we have sentence completion, misfit and paragraph completion, right? So which is what we discuss. ये few topics हैं जिस पे मैंने थोड़ा आपको समझाने की कोशिश की है. Now let us understand, if we want to develop the right verbal aptitude, what kind of skills are needed. जैसे हमने समझा verbal aptitude जरूरी है, कौन सी टाइप की questions एग्जाम्स में होता है, ठीक है, एंड कौन से टाइप के क्वेश्चंस होते हैं इसमें। तो अब तक आप समझ गए हो कि ये लैंग्वेज से काफी पढ़कर है। सो व्हाट स्किल्स विल यू नीड, हाउ विल यू डेवलप योर वोकल एप्टीट्यूड, देयर आर few things which you need to take care of. So what are the skills needed? The first skill that is needed is the power of words. You will need to know a lot of words in that particular context if you want to study the right way to crack verbal aptitude exams. Let me just take you to that slide. ठीक है, so the power of words. We all know there are words, there are antonyms जो उसके similar meaning वाले वर्ड, synonyms जो उसके similar meaning वाले वर्ड हैं, antonyms जो उसके opposite हैं. So जितने ज़्यादा words हमें पता है, जितने ज़्यादा synonyms हमें पता है, उतना हमारे लिए अच्छा है, हम उसको काफी context में use कर सकते हैं. Etymology, that is the root of the words. ठीक है, जैसे हमने देखा bureaucracy, which has a particular root, and then it will take you to a lot of other similar kind of words. So you need to understand the context of the words, कहाँ से आया है ये root, और उसके जैसे कितने similar type of roots usage हो सकता है. Then we talk about vocabulary, that is the right kind of grammar that you use. जैसे हमने वो simple sentences देखे थे, that you need to know the exact context जिस हिसाब में आप ये use कर रहे हो या आप ये word बना रहे हो. Then you have subject verb agreement, जिसमें आपको baby boil वाला example याद करो, that where we told that if the baby doesn't like the milk, boil it. It refers to the it should refer to the milk, but it was referring in that statement to the baby, so which is not correct. तो ये skill हमें develop करनी है कि हम right context में हमारे sentences बोलें. And very important is tenses. We all know the tenses chart, ठीक है, past, present continuous, future tense, and उसके सारे combination, which is finite, which is perfect, which is continuous. So you will need to understand again वो 12 tenses में से कौन से tense का कौन सा sentence हमें कहाँ use करना है. ये सब अगर हम study करेंगे, then we will be able to develop the right verbal aptitude that is needed. और इतना काफी नहीं होगा, इससे काफी आगे हमें करना पड़ेगा. So we need a combination of all these skills in order to develop the right kind of verbal aptitude. So what is the strategy, my friends, to develop the right kind of verbal aptitude? The strategy is quite simple. You need to start early, which is read a lot. आप लोग books पढ़ते हो, you need to read novels, you need to read news articles, you need to read a lot of things which are not customary. You need to infer and understand. Reading is not enough. आप कुछ भी रीड करो, आप उसको इन्फर करो, आप समझो उसमें से क्या बात हो रही है, एंड देन प्रैक्टिस। आपने समझ लिया, बट अगर आप उसको प्रैक्टिस नहीं करोगे तो भी आप राइट वर्बल एटीट्यूड डेवलप नहीं कर पाओगे। So you need to read a lot, you need to understand the exact context of what you are trying to say, and you need to practice whatever you do. This is, my friends, the right strategy to develop a very good verbal aptitude, which is required to clear all good exams, which is also required to get good promotions and to have a better standing in today's corporate world, in today's organizations. So, my friends, the right time to start your verbal aptitude is right now, which means आप जितना ज़्यादा प्रैक्टिस करोगे उतना ही आपके लिए अच्छा है। ठीक है। मैंने आपको बताया आईएमएस क्या करता है। आईएमएस डील्स विद ऑल द कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स that will take you to premier institutes of India. Also, that will help you to crack some good exams where you can get into Ivy League colleges abroad, right? The address of IMS I'm sharing with you here. We are situated on Sadhu Vaswani Road, okay, third floor, Jaywardhani Commercial Complex. I'm also sharing the contact number. So, in case you are looking at any of these exams, let me quickly repeat. If you're planning to get BBA, then you crack IP MAT and PET similar exams, hotel management की entrance exams, journalism की entrance exams. If you're planning to pursue law, then we talk about CLAT. If you're planning to go abroad, we talk about SAT. If you're planning to do MBA from India, we talk about CAT, SNAP, all other ADMAT exams. If you're planning to do MBA from Gujarat, we talk about CMAT. And if you're planning to do masters from abroad, we talk about GRE and GMAT. So we help you with the practice and the solving for all these competitive exams. We do training for this. So in case you have some any queries or for these exams, you are most welcome to our center. You can also call us and fix up an appointment. Currently, we do offline counseling also. Online comes both of them are there. So if you want to set up an online counseling, you can take up our appointment and we can schedule it with one of our counselors. Thank you so much, my friends, and thank you very much, Junior School, again for giving me a chance to talk about verbal aptitude to these students. Let me connect back to Rohit sir. If you have some questions, friends, you can put it online, and I'll be happy to share the solutions with you.
Krishna ma'am, thank you very much for sharing your
Thank you,
complete
sir.
insight, knowledge, and wisdom. And you have really enlightened us by sharing the importance of verbal aptitude in life. Really, it was great. Our student must have enjoyed it a lot, no question about it. And by the way, you have told us so many things how to develop aptitude, verbal aptitude, specially. And definitely, our students will be doing it. And these are importance in every aspect of life. And as I have rightly told you that we here practice for so many examinations, especially UPSC, GPSC, NDA, and CDS. And here, verbal aptitude plays a great role. As far as the UPSC is concerned, paper number 2 is for verbal aptitude, that is called CSET. And though it is not very much important, only 33% is enough. After scoring 33%, you are passed. But verbal aptitude plays a great role. For GPSC also, without English, it is very impossible to pass the examination. In NDA, at the same time, it has great importance. Without good command over verbal aptitude, no one can pass the examination like NDA and CDS. So, ma'am, thank you very much. We have some questions for you. There is a student name. Her name is Hiral Jadeja. She is a sincere student. She is preparing for UPSC, and she is the
Correct.
future collector of our country. Very sincere, very hardworking,
Mm.
very dedicated and committed student. And she wants to be an IS officer. She wants to be a collector. And she has asked a question
Great.
that she commits some spelling mistake. So, what is the solution to correct the spelling mistake?
A very good solution will be to write it down, because science is also proof कि जो चीज आप लिखते हो वो भूलते नहीं। Okay, so whenever you come across a new word, or for example, the word bureaucracy, which is a little difficult to say, the word rhetoric, which is a little difficult to say, आप उसको जो हमारी बचपन की पनिशमेंट थी 5 टाइम्स लिख के 5 टाइम्स लिखोगे वो स्पेलिंग आपको डेफिनेटली याद रहेगा. ठीक है. ऑल्सो ट्राई एंड गो टू द प्रोनाउंसिएशन. ठीक है. अगर आप प्रोनाउंसिएशन की प्रैक्टिस करोगे जैसे लिसनिंग, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ आई स्पीक अ वर्ड रेटोरिक, सो र, द वे आई प्रोनाउंस र, तो वो र अकेला नहीं है, उसके बैकग्राउंड में साइलेंट एच है. So two techniques, one is definitely right. Second, try and understand the pronunciation. अगर आप pronunciation समझ गए तो भी आप बहुत कम chances है कि spelling mistake करें.
Right, ma'am. Absolutely. You have given the right track. Definitely, she will help. She will develop it, and definitely the problem will be solved. And apart from that, as you know that we in Saurashtra, we have been facing the challenges of communication skill. Though Saurashtra is a part of
Yes.
Gujarat, but I feel it is part different as far as the communication skill is concerned. Okay. So, what
Correct.
would be your final idea, advice to the students so that those who have made up in their minds to pursue their career in the field of higher education, or for us it is UPSC, GPSC, NDA, and CDS. So what kind of technique, what kind of newspapers, what kind of things they should put into practice every day so that they will be comfortable, they will enjoy, and they will enhance their ability in reading, ability to learn something better.
Right, sir. I will first tell them two strategies जो students young age से कर सकते हैं. Number one is practice within them. Why? Because when you practice with people at similar level, you will do it without any apprehensions. You will make some mistakes जो जरूरी है कि हम practice में ये करें. So first step is practicing it within your circle and then identifying a mentor. तो आप कोई mentor है या teachers हैं, जीनियस मुझे पता है बहुत अच्छे अच्छे टीचर्स हैं, तो आप टीचर्स से उनकी मदद लें दैट मैम हम कहाँ रॉन्ग कम्युनिकेशन कर रहे हैं, कौन सा वर्ड रॉन्गली प्रोनाउंस कर रहे हैं, उसका हेल्प. So you should first practice it within. You cannot go and tell the teacher that you teach me English. That's not going to be possible. But first you practice it within yourself, and then you ask somebody who is an expert in that language to identify your mistakes and correct it for you. That is number one. Number two, whenever you get chance, you try to read newspaper editorials. Okay. Now newspaper editorials पढ़ने के बाद उसको paraphrase करना सीखो. That will help you very much to develop your vocabulary. For example, I read a news article, let's say, which talks about the inflation rate of India, which is currently very high due to COVID effects, okay, and its effect on business. Now, this particular news editorial will have 5 or 6 paragraphs. ठीक है. बड़ा सा जो न्यूज़पेपर एडिटोरियल की हम बात करें, या ठीक है, if you even if you take a छोटा one, which will have 3 or 4 paragraphs. फिर a student should develop practice of writing a note that each paragraph में क्या summarize किया गया है. अगर आप समरी करना सीख गए तो इससे क्या होगा, आपको याद भी रहेगा, क्योंकि आप 4 पैराग्राफ याद नहीं रख सकते, बट आप हर एक पैराग्राफ का जो जिस्ट है वो याद रख सकते हो. वो आपने ओन वर्ड्स में लिखा तो आपका राइटिंग प्रैक्टिस भी हो गया, आपका वोकैबुलरी भी डेवलप हो गया, एंड आपने कहीं ना कहीं इंग्लिश को याद करना भी शुरू कर दिया. बिकॉज सौराष्ट्र टिपिकली एज यू सेड सर थोड़ा डिफरेंट क्यों है, क्योंकि लोग समझते हैं ना वही चीज बोलते हैं. ठीक है, तो वो बहुत जरूरी है कि हम वो लैंग्वेज को उसी कंटेक्स्ट में समझें. So you write and you practice it within your colleagues also. That is my suggestion to the students.
Yes, ma'am. Nicely suggested. And ma'am, last question of the day. What would be the final advice to you for the students, those who have made up in their minds to pursue their career? Because generally students are afraid of English language because they think that English is the language of foreign, or it is the language of South Indian people, not for Gujaratis. So, what is your final advice that you will would like to suggest us for this, so
Oh,
that student will love
I
learning
will.
English, they will fall in English love, yes, they will love, yes, they will be
Yes,
loving
yes.
language.
You
Yes, ma'am.
start reading foreign authors. ठीक है.
Yes,
I will suggest for students definitely one book which they all should compulsory read is Harry Potter. क्योंकि हैरी पॉटर मूवी सबने देखी है, बट इफ यू रीड द बुक The book paints such a nice picture in your mind जो एक मूवी नहीं जस्टिफाई कर सकती क्योंकि बुक उसे आप कहीं आगे ले जाती है. So the final advice that I have to students is that you read foreign authors. Do not read Chetan Bhagat. Of course, Chetan Bhagat is a good writer, but if you want to develop our thought process in that particular setting, first you read with Indian authors, but you should also go to foreign authors because the contextual usage there you will find much higher. And second advice to all the students is practice, learn and practice. ठीक है, आप जितना आप यूपीएससी की तैयारी कर रहे हो, हार्ड वर्क एंड स्मार्ट वर्क इज a combination of these two is going to take you somewhere. Hard work in terms of learning the concepts, smart work in terms of application, smart work in terms of appearing for the exam. जब हमारे पास कैट के बच्चे आते हैं हम देखते हैं कि वो बच्चा बहुत प्रैक्टिस करता है हर एक कॉन्सेप्ट, बट वो मॉक्स नहीं देता. तो जब तक आप वो मॉक नहीं दोगे तो आपको कैसा पता चलेगा कि वो 3 घंटे में आपके साथ क्या होगा. So you have to do hard work. At the same time, you have to do smart work in terms of application also. This combination of two, I think, will take students to reach their goal. That is cracking GPSC or UPSC and becoming collector officers.
Okay, absolutely nice, ma'am. Really, the advice is absolutely fine. So I would like to thank you all the viewers of the day for joining us live session. The same way we will come to you on the next Friday at the same time with one of the most prominent speakers from India, from Saurashtra, from Gujarat. So thank you very much, ma'am, for sparing your valuable time for the betterment of the organization. Genius Group of Institutions has been conducting various programs for students on this platform like UPSC, GPSC, NDA, and CDS from standard 7 onwards. Anyone can join this program, and we have been teaching, training, motivating, and guiding the students so that India can produce the best officers in our country, so that the ultimate objective of serving the nation can be done with the help of the bureaucracy. So on behalf of Genius Group of Institution, Krishna Unadkat ma'am, thank you very much once again. And by the way, we will be taking more services from you. And all the viewers, thank you very much for joining us live. And for any doubts and any query, you can write me on my email ID rohit.sika@geniusschool.co.in. Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.